Good morning, class. We are group 2. I'm Susan Caraway. This is Renee, Christian, Jennifer, and Jacqueline. And we're going to talk to you today about the North Dakota Access Pipeline. The agenda for today includes an overview of the North Dakota Access Pipeline and a little bit of background information on U.S. oil production. We'll also talk about arising issues with the pipeline, the impact on jobs for the pipeline, construction violations that have been noted, as well as the business impact of the pipeline and the financing. We'll also talk about pipeline benefits, and in conclusion, we'll make a recommendation as to how we should proceed. To start off, I'll talk about the Dakota Access Pipeline Project. It is an 1,100-mile project covering 4 states. It goes through North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Illinois. And the purpose of the pipeline is to transfer crude oil from North Dakota to Illinois for processing. It is a project of Energy Transfer Partners, LLP, which is a Texas business. Just to give you an idea, as far as other U.S. oil production, currently the United States is the 3rd largest producer of oil in the world. Now, as you can see on the map, all of the lines drawn are actually other pipelines in the United States. There's plenty of them, and they're pretty much all over the place. North America has actually surpassed Russia and Saudi Arabia in oil production. Currently, 2 major pipelines that were in production that you may have heard of include the Keystone Pipeline in Alaska. That's been put on hold for political reasons and environmental reasons, as well as the Dakota Access Pipeline, and that's the subject of our topic today. And now Jennifer is going to talk about arising issues associated with the Dakota Pipeline.
So as the construction of this pipeline became news, the issues as well, there are now thousands of protesters camping along the Missouri River as well as in the Standing Rock community, trying to stop the construction of this pipeline. Protesters include international supporters as well as local representatives from more than 100 Native American tribes. Even celebrities have joined this cause. As you can see on the picture, celebrity Shailene Woodley was one of the protesters and actually got arrested for trespassing into private land while protesting. So one of the reasons why they are opposing to the construction of this pipeline is because the pipeline actually it's going to go through some sacred and burial sites for the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. As you can see on the picture, the black dots are the sites, and the red dotted line is the Dakota Access Pipeline. So these sites are very important to this tribe's religion, and they consider this as a civil rights violation on behalf of the freedom of religion. It's like if someone came and destroyed one of our churches or one of our cemeteries, we would consider that a violation as well, and we wouldn't be too happy about that. Another reason why they're opposing to the construction of this pipeline is because the pipeline will also run underneath the Missouri River, and the Missouri River actually provides water to 4 major lakes. And these 4 major lakes are major sources and only sources of water to these local communities. So if a leak happens, the Missouri River will become contaminated, leading to the contamination of these 4 major lakes, leaving residents of these local communities without safe drinking water. So the probability of a leak occurring is now low. For the past 20 years, there has been 2,000 accidents involving leaks on oil pipelines, adding up to $3 billion in damages. And from 2013 to 2015, an average of 121 accidents per year have occurred. So if a leak does occur, it will increase health issues among the residents of these local communities. If they do consume oil-contaminated water, they are most likely to be diagnosed with cancer and digestive problems. These residents can consume this contaminated water through direct consumption, which means actually drinking the water, or indirect consumption, which means eating meat from livestock that drank the water, or eating any type of vegetable that was watered with oil-contaminated water. So these residents might consume contaminated items without even knowing that they are. So now Christian will talk about the impacts on jobs.
So because the pipeline requires them to hire, or will hire 8,000 to 1,000 people. And these people consist of welders, mechanics, heavy machine operators, and electricians. Because all these people are coming into North Dakota, certain businesses such as restaurants and hotels will see an increase in revenue. And while some may be happy that the pipeline is being constructed, there are others, such as landowners, that have seen destruction of their trees because the pipeline, or I should say the company creating the pipeline, has decided to destroy most of their trees and not really listening to what the farmers want. And because of this, the creation of the pipeline has caused most of the materials, such as wood, plastic, and metals, to move over or to be carried by water into nearby farms. And because of this, certain machinery that farmers use is being damaged, and this is causing thousands of dollars in damages. And as you can see from the picture, the area that the pipeline covers is a lot. So most of the farmers that are complaining are worried that this will complicate their future in farming. And now Jackie will talk about the business impact.
So now we're going to see the business impact to the owner of the company, of the pipeline, which Susan mentioned earlier, it is Energy Transfer Partners. Phillips 66 and Sunoco Logistics, they earn a significant stock in the company, and it is speculated that a joint venture has been created with Marathon Petroleum. The overall cost of the project right now is looking around $4.8 billion. So far, 70% of the project has been completed, and canceling the project or rerouting the pipeline will be significantly costly. On the next illustration, we're able to see the 17 financial institutions that are actually funding the project. You can see from the top, from Wells Fargo to Society General. They actually contributed $2.5 billion. They lended this amount for the completion of the project. In July 27 of this year, the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe filed a lawsuit against the United States Army Corps of Engineers for violating the National Historic Preservation Act and other laws. They were claiming that their concerns about the pipeline were not heard, as well as the importance of the sacred lands. They filed a lawsuit in the Federal Court of Washington, D.C. In September 9th, the United States District of Columbus Court, they actually denied the temporary restraining to halt the construction of the pipeline. And actually, on that same day, the Obama administration actually got involved. They actually put a temporary stop on the pipeline. So what does that construction delay mean? The pipeline was projected to be finished by 2016, by the end of 2016. Right now, it has been already a 2-month and a little bit more over 2-month delay. So this is a big hit for the owners of the company. Since they're the producers, they were actually depending on demand of the oil to be rapidly shipped as soon as the pipeline was done. It's also affecting the shippers, since right now they're stuck with crude oil and there are no long-term contracts. There is a lot of uncertainty and risk for investors, for the owners and the lenders. And now Christian is going to talk about some of the, Renee, I'm sorry, is going to talk about some of the benefits of the pipeline.
So there's an estimated 156 million that is going to be in sales and income tax revenues. 40.5 going alone to North Dakota. There's also 55 million estimated in property taxes, which benefit schools, hospitals, and other emergency services. Additionally, there will be more income, as Christian already mentioned earlier. There will be more income to hotels, restaurants, etc. The pipeline will be able to haul 470,000 barrels of crude oil a day, which is allowed to make 374.3 million gallons of gas. Susan mentioned earlier also, the U.S. is the third largest producer of oil, but they are the being the plan is there, must close the gap between them. Also, the pipeline will free up railroads for farmers, which will allow them to, send their wheat across the Midwest. Also, the pipeline will improve the overall safety of the public by helping transport, the oil more safely. In conclusion, should the pipeline project be completed?
So we discussed this as a group and had our input. We had pretty strong feelings about it. But generally speaking, we thought, yes, it should be completed. It's 70% complete. And there are ways that recommendations can be made to reroute it around the river or do other things to make it less of a threat to the environment.
We agree that it should be completed with the requirement that they should provide another source of water to be prepared